It's so huge. Terri, you weighed how much at one point?
When I finally was able to get to the sum, it was 587.
Now you weigh how much?
No, I weigh about 116, 120.
116? Oh, that's amazing. Unbelievable. How long did it take you to lose it?
Over 2.5 years.
From the audience.
Terri, you look very beautiful, and I'd like to know, when you lost all the weight, what happened to the excess skin?
Well, as a matter of fact, I have been going through plastic surgery. It's extensive surgery. I was only able, because of my weight, was to walk small distances. So, you know, I wasn't told, you know, let's do the high-impact aerobic thing, and I couldn't anyway. So I walked, but half of it disappears, and the other half stays. So now I'm going through the plastic surgery stage. I've had the top part of me done.
You know, y'all aren't going to believe this story. When I was reading the research, tell them the story about when you were on the delivery table pregnant.
I was pregnant with my son, and I went into labor, 36 hours of labor. Finally, the doctors decided, oh, well, I think we're going to have to take him C-section. So they lay me on a table, and mind you, there's about 8 nurses and doctors in the room. They lay me on a flat gurney. They take the tape, and I'm laying flat on my back. They tape my stomach to the wall behind me to get to my stomach, and laughing. And that's and they knocked me out, but before they knocked me out, I could hear just them all saying, oh my God, I can't believe that we, you know, this is terrible. How did she get like this? You know, how did she do this to herself? You know, in the interim, my son and myself both almost died. And but
while they were pointing and laughing,
right, and I'm lying there looking at this white tape above my head with my stomach up to here.
Oh my God.
Very humiliating. Then I was arrested right before that happened, getting baby shower gifts. I was going to have a baby shower. They thought I had been stuffing things underneath my shirt, and I was pregnant, and I couldn't convince them that I was pregnant.
Oh God.
So they thought I was stealing. The police came in. They made me lift my shirt up in the store to prove, yes.
That is so much humiliation.
Yes, it is.
I can't imagine going through that.
That's why I relate to you. You don't even want to leave your home. You don't want to, you know, you know, a lot of people can say, rise above it. You know, learn to live with it. It's so hard.
Yeah.
It is so hard.
Terri, what did all that humiliation do to you? What effect has that had on your life?
It is, and I remember each and every, very vividly, mean things that were said to me.
Like from whom?
Well, I've been married 3 times. I'm on my 4th marriage. And I remember distinctly my first husband, his brother, we would go into a restaurant. He would pull out 2 chairs and say, here, Terri, have a seat. And his whole family would be there. And they probably, or he probably doesn't even remember doing it. Yeah. But I know.
Right.
You know every snide comment, every rude gesture. You know, you
don't forget.
You don't.
What about your parents?
Oh, my parents have been supportive. My parents are of normal weight. You know, they didn't have a problem. But, you know, it gets to the point that, you know, there's so much food out there. You go to your friend's house, you eat what you want to eat. You know, they can only control so much.
Was there anybody else in your life other than your ex-husband who was extremely cruel to you and you don't forget?
Well, his brother was the cruelest. I truly believe my first marriage failed because of my weight. And like I said, I wasn't even that big at that time. But I think he always had a problem with me being that heavy. And I got bulimic, I'll have you know. I would, you know, every time I'd eat, I'd go to throw up to try to appease him. Yeah. And I don't even know if he knew that.
Look at this woman. You would never dream her life story, would you? You just don't know about folks in their lives, do you? Amazing, amazing what you've had to endure.
Very hurtful.
Wouldn't you love, though, Terri, I think there's a part of everybody wants to say, if you could see me now. You know, it's like how, you know, they're like, I got a 10-year reunion coming up, buddy. I'm starting this diet. I got a few debts to pay.
Yeah.
You know? Do you ever feel that way?
Certainly. There's a lot of people out there that have been very, very mean.
Well, you mentioned, too, your ex-husband and his brother. If you had to confront them, what would you say to them?
I'd pull 2 chairs up to Robert and say, have a seat.
Well, why don't we do that? Come on out, guys. Get us off the chair. How are you?
Hi, bud.
How you doing, Paul?
Have a seat, Robert.
It's going to get good. But you know something? This is Terry's time.
That's fine.
Terry has a few things to say to you two guys, so just hold on. We're also up next going to talk to David, who says he's not only imprisoned in his home, he's imprisoned in his 700-pound plus body. We'll be right back.
Ever noticed how when you're comfortable, everything feels right? Well, your friends at Depend have been working on comfort. Your comfort. Introducing new Depend undergarments with a cloth-like outer cover. Look, it's softness you can see, softness you can feel. For the most comfortable protection ever from Depend. Protection you trust. New cloth-like comfort. Depend, because you've got a lot of living to do.
Is your husband still a mama's boy? If so, call us at, what's that number? 1-800-4-ROAD-SHOW. Can you believe this? Before we left, this is Terry's day. She has not seen her former husband and his brother for about 15 years. They used to pick on her when she was fat, when she weighed 467 pounds. Now she's a 116-pound beauty. Yes! Oh, revenge, revenge is so sweet. Go for it, Terri. What do you want to say after all this time?
Well, I say to them that...
Look at them and say it.
I say to them that you see somebody walking down the street that looks like me, or not even, look, you know, because like I said, I wasn't as big then as I got when you guys didn't see me. But, you know, making fun of people does those people no good. It hurts. And it hurts deep, and it hurts for a long time, obviously, because it's something that stayed. I asked you about the chair incident, and you didn't remember it. But it stays with you for a very, very long time. And it's very hurtful. And like I said, nobody gets anything out of it. We go home and cry, and then we eat.
So you guys say what to her?
It's difficult to apologize for hurts like that. When you are the way I am or was, you are that way. It's not something that you do necessarily out of nastiness or anything, but I guess it's your own insecurity sometimes. You just push it off on other people, and that's kind of what happens. If I hurt you, I apologize for hurting you back then. Times were different, and it's not an excuse, but we got along in a different manner, in a different light, and that's just things that do happen. And I didn't make fun of you when you were 460 pounds. You're about 270.
Right, that's what I was saying.
I never.
So imagine how long that picking on lasted. So ex-husband, what do you say?
I would like to say, first of all, that we did not get divorced because of her weight. We got divorced because of the mental state that she was in, which was a result of her weight. But at that time, it wasn't the weight problem wasn't between it. Because
well, I couldn't ride on the back of his motorcycle, so I let his ex-girlfriend ride on the back of his motorcycle.
She did ride on the back of a motorcycle, and I bought a brand new motorcycle. Remember, I bought a brand new motorcycle. I broke it in with her on the back.
I remember real well, but you know, it's like
that was your choice too.
It was my
choice,
but you could have said, "No, I want my wife on the back."
I said,
yeah, you're sure?
Yes, do it. So
Terry said, "Well, bring me a motorbike now." Bring me a motorbike now. All right. I want you to meet our next guest now. You might call him a prisoner in his own room. He is grounded by his own incredible weight. He is unable to get out.